Okay.
That was all just a mic check, right?
That was a mic check.
Just a mic check.
Uh-huh. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Off Our Needles.
We're the Grocery Girls.
I'm Tracie.
I'm Jodi.
And today we're dreaming of fall, which
Okay.
is my favorite season.
So I think it's so funny that towards, January, February, March, we're just craving warm weather.
I know.
And now at the same point in the summer where I am craving the cooler weather because I miss all my knits.
Fall has always been my favorite. I was a big old bookworm, nerdy girl, which I still am. So I love the first day of school.
I do too.
I love the whole fresh apples and changing leaves and all that kind of thing. So I love fall. I don't need a lot of prodding to get inspired for fall. So
I know.
I'm dying
where
to share
I have
that
my
with you guys
shawls,
today.
Where I have my shawls in my room, it's an big open cabinet so I can see them.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm really missing them. I'm missing
Yeah.
wearing them.
So today we're going to share some amazing new mini skeins, which, hello, mini skeins, we couldn't love those anymore.
Also in this episode, we are going to be a check-in KAL.
Summer, our sweater knit along.
I am going to show you the next step where I am with my sweater, and I'm going to join my sleeves.
Yeah, that's a huge step.
It's going to feel like a sweater. And fall inspirations.
This is really
Some knit
exciting.
inspirations for you.
And it's kind of global. We've got things where you can go on holidays and trips and get all jazzed up with your knitting mojo.
And something really fun for this episode, a pin it to win it contest.
This is fantastic.
Yep.
Pinterest, everybody's big addiction, right?
We know you've been sucked down the Pinterest hole.
Totally.
Yeah, the vortex where you're in and people haven't seen you for days.
You can't even get out, not
Yeah.
even if you tried. So we know you have knitting Pinterest boards and we're dying to see them.
Yeah.
So if you get those all ready for us to go, we're gonna have a chance for you guys to win a $500 Craftsy shopping spree.
So any information to enter our pin it to win it, you'll find a link in the description box below.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
we should get going with our fall inspiration.
Let's knit.
Let's do it. Now it is time to check back in with our summer sweater knit along.
We hope you have sleeves.
This is our Jodi sweater.
Yep.
So last time we checked in with you guys and we said, let's knit the body.
We did, we said that.
And now we've knit our sleeves. And today is like an epic moment because we're gonna join them all and it's going to start looking like an actual garment, I think.
It's gonna feel like a sweater. So we know there's gonna be a lot of people that
Yeah.
have moved past this because we've left lots of time for people to knit this, so it's not a race. We're gonna show you that it's actually joining, and then we're also gonna talk about the short rows.
Yes, because you've got an option here.
Yeah.
So once you get up to this point, we're going to show you how to join it all. The next few rows, you can either knit plain, where you're increasing the front and back of your sweater at the same rate, or you can do a few short rows, which are only going to work across a portion of your sweater, and that will just raise the back of your collar up a little bit.
Yeah.
It creates a little more fabric back there, which is kind of the way our bodies are shaped.
Some people like more of a boat neck, where it's sort of more equally spaced from the front and the back, the
Right.
opening. I chose for my pattern just to raise it a little bit.
I did the short rows.
Yeah, I did too.
It's not scary. And we're gonna
No.
show you how to do it. And it really is only a few rows.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, we need to join in the round. So
Yeah.
are you gonna show us how to do that?
I'm gonna show you how to do that.
Okay.
So now what I am going to do is I am going to slip all of my sleeve stitches onto the main body of the sweater. So after you've slipped all of your stitches, make sure you don't forget to place your marker. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip all these stitches on my cable onto the next needle so I can be on the other side to pick up the rest of my sleeve stitches. Okay, so on to sleeve number 2. We are now going to slip our sleeve stitches for the second sleeve, just like we did for the first. So now both sleeve stitches have been joined to the body. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to slip my back stitches all the way to the beginning and adding my contrast marker. Don't forget to add a contrasting marker because this is our new beginning of round. So our next step is the short rows. So what I have done is the first step, they ask you to place 2 locking stitch markers 15 stitches in from our front stitch markers. So this is the front of my work. Here are my 2 sleeve stitch markers, and I have placed 2 stitch markers, 15 stitches in from each side. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to knit from where we left off up to the new locking stitch marker at the front of the sweater. So I'm at the point in my pattern where it had told me to stop 1 stitch before my new locking front stitch marker. Now I'm going to work my first short row stitch. For these short rows, the reason she's added them in here is it's building extra fabric rows in only certain parts of the sweater, so it gives you that shaping around the back of your neck that we talked about. I had a tricky time in the pattern, so we wanted to show you this step because, you know, visually, now that we see it and we've done it, we know exactly what to do. So those stitch markers go on the front, and then this is the direction you're going to be knitting.
Yes. So your short rows actually are a little bit of the front,
Yeah.
your sleeve, and all the way across the back, and the other sleeve, and a little bit of the front as well. So you're not working any of these middle front stitches. Your short rows are building fabric on sort of the sleeves and back.
Isn't that funny?
It
I could picture where these front ones go, and I just thought,
so yeah, let me show you what that's going to look
Okay.
like and why you might want to consider doing that on your sweater.
Okay.
So if you can see here, the neckline is slightly higher at the back than the front. You can see that. So if you choose to do the short rows, that's what your sweater is going to look like. If you don't choose to do the short rows, you're going to get more of like a true boat neck where it's even on the front and kind of, it'll feel like it dips a little at the back. It's really pretty both ways.
Yeah.
You get the option of what you'd like to do with your sweater.
yes, you do.
Yeah. And now you're into like the super fun part of your sweater, I feel like. You get to establish this cable pattern, and I think you're kind of in the home stretch.
You certainly are. I felt like that when we got to this point.
Yeah, and the next time we check in with you guys, we're going to finish our cables and doing a decrease heading really into the
Oh my
home
God,
stretch.
I can see the finish line next time we chat.
So I hope you guys are loving your Jodi sweater,
Yeah.
just like we are. And now you're all in one piece and you're off to the races. It's an actual sweater now.
And don't forget to post your progress. We have hashtags. We have hashtag knit along
and hashtag off our needles.
Yep.
And this is the fun part, you guys. When you do a knit along, we want to see your stuff.
Yes.
Show us your sweater. And if you have any questions or comments, you know we've got our Ravelry group off our
Yep.
needles. So Jodi's always in there answering questions.
Always.
So we would love to hear from you. This is one of my favorite things that we do here on Off Our Needles.
Yeah.
We pick a gorgeous pattern and then we show it to you in several color palettes that I think it's hard to decide which one is most gorgeous. And today we have the gorgeous Spark of Gray shawl by Melanie Berg,
The one and
who's
only.
one of my favorite designers. I love knitting her shawls. And the first version we have today is a gorgeous neutral. I love it. I love the texture. You're using 2 colors when you knit this shawl.
Yeah.
You've got the multicolored body. It's actually, you start up here at the top. It's a top-down symmetrical triangle, which I think of as something really easy to wear.
I do too.
You can put it on and toss it on, and then you've got a solid border, and you get this texture by slipping stitches. So it looks like complicated color work, but you're only using 1 color of yarn at a time, and you get this awesome, complex looking pattern.
because we know how much I love color work.
You do. You're so good at it.
Okay, you know what I love about this? It feels like I had a light bulb moment.
I like when you do this.
This little edge, doing a super stretchy cast off with this ribbing edge, it makes it like a little bit of a ruffle.
It definitely
almost.
does, and it makes it really, really feminine.
It
So
does.
this is a beautiful pattern done in some neutrals.
Yeah.
Kind of a taupey gray and a lighter and a dark. I really love it.
Oh my gosh, the
Jodi, that looks amazing.
camera makes it look backwards, so I want to do this side.
I know. I still haven't figured out how that works.
Okay, but look how easy this is to wear.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a great size too.
Yeah.
We have chosen a different yarn and different color palettes to
Yeah.
do our versions in.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh, darn it.
What?
I dropped mine. Just a minute. I'll be back.
We'll just, we'll just wait here.
Okay.
We'll just talk amongst ourselves.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, Okay, first of all, I'm super excited about this yarn. I think the yarn was an amazing choice for this pattern. Okay, light gray, lots of cool teals, blues, and even a purple and a dark green in there. It's a color changing yarn with long strips of color. So it looks striped.
I mean, look at that.
And this is actually, let me show you the yarn. This is the Cloudborn Merino Alpaca Sport. So it's a blend of both merino and alpaca. So it's really soft and squishy. And that sport weight is just slightly heavier than your fingering weight yarns. So this one is going to be even bigger to wrap on you.
And for me, not being petite, I know you're surprised. I like a bigger, more substantial shawl to wrap around me. This is what I loved about this shawl is that you're using the bigger wool, the bigger needles, so you get the bigger project.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful light gray and lots of cool kind of oceany colors, and I love the way this one looks.
Okay, you want to see mine?
I do.
Okay.
Okay, stop the presses.
So you would think when you're looking at this that this is minis, right?
It absolutely looks like you've used half a dozen different yarns to make this project. Isn't that beautiful? I can't, the squish factor.
Yeah, when I first saw the picture on this pattern, I thought to myself, I don't think I'm gonna love knitting all this color work.
Oh.
Because really you look at it and you do think this is a complicated color work.
And it looks like a complicated stitch of some kind.
No, but it's not, you guys. It is slip stitches that's giving you this effect.
I absolutely love it. I cannot pick a favorite because these two are both gorgeous.
Yeah.
These are both colors
Okay,
that I would
so
use.
let me show my yarn.
Okay.
I use the same base color, the gray, as Tracie did. That's the Merino Alpaca Sport.
Yeah.
But then I used hearts and flowers as my color change.
Pretty. This one's Puget Sound.
Actually, now looking at them, I mean, I could have chosen either.
How could you pick? I don't know.
Yeah. So not only was this shawl, I mean, it's extra impressive when it's done.
It is. It's a simple ribbed border, just finishes it off with such a really beautiful, strong look, and you can do that with any color that you love.
Tracie has our first favorite thing.
First favorite thing.
Yeah.
Cute, 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 the Lulu dog sweater. Like, come on. What? Crocheted.
Yes.
Striped.
Yeah.
Very easy to make. Super soft and squishy.
Okay, so this yarn that this kit comes with, you guys, your dog is going to thank you.
I love a dog sweater, and I actually have a dog that loves to get dressed up.
Yeah.
To the mortification of my husband and son, my daughter and I think it's hysterical, and we think we should dress him up more. Typically, it's just Christmas, but he gets a rockin' Christmas sweater every year.
But doesn't he act like he loves it?
I'm not even kidding you. You can tell he feels
like he
good
walks
in it.
around.
He walks
look at
around
me
like,
in my
hey,
stupid Christmas
look
sweater.
Look at me in my Christmas sweater. So Lulu dog sweater. You're going to love this one. This is one of my favorite things.
Tracie's not a crocheter.
I will be.
She's an aspiring one.
I am. I'm a wannabe.
I'm going to knit Ozzy one of these.
Okay.
And then I'll knit Raven, my dog.
Who is a German Shepherd.
It's
so
12,
we might need a bit more yarn.
12 sizes bigger.
Yeah, we might. We love gradient.
Da, 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 da.
We love mini skeins. So this is sort of like I was going to say trifecta, but it's only two. So, and we love it.
Don't touch it.
I'm not touching.
See, I want to make it look really nice.
First of all, the colors
to give them
are what strike
justice.
me. So you can get lots of the Cloudborn mini skein sets.
Yeah.
In lots of mixed tones, which I love. These are the hot off the presses gradients, brand new ones.
Yeah.
So they really inspire me. There's so many projects that you can make with mini skeins.
I look at this and think I would love to knit every color.
I know.
So what we're going to show you guys today is we're going to show you a few different projects where they're perfect for mini skeins, and we hope you love them
A
too.
marriage made in heaven. What do you think? What do you got going over there?
I've got the Juanita Park cowl. This is the only one of the projects we're going to show you that will be completed with only one set of mini packs.
So you get a mini and you're done.
Yeah.
I love the size of it.
I do love the size. But look what they've done. So it's not just solid minis.
Isn't that pretty?
They're not just knitting with solid minis. They're
It's
changing
some kind
it up.
some kind of a rib and slip stitches.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I love it. It's very cozy.
They've really mixed it in.
Isn't it great? Okay, how about this one? This is called the Mad Day Out Shawl. This one you're going to require one more skein of yarn. You're going to need a main color, which in this case looks like the gray. And I do love this lacy part and these little short row little blips. So I think this one's got a lot of textural interest and color interest, which is like bang, bang, done for me.
I do love this.
I love it. Mad Day Out Shawl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next shawl is the Avisa shawl.
Oh, I love this kind of stuff.
Aren't you
I
just
love these big
crazy
loopy
about
holes.
it? And again, this one, this charcoal gray color is your main full 100-gram skein.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And then they used a mini pack. I think they used the same mini pack as your shawl.
I think so too. Well, it's a beautiful color kit. I would love to see this one in a gradient. So like, you know, get your blues and get a different blue for your main color.
Get your blue on.
Get your blue on or your purple, whatever you're feeling, and do the whole thing in sort of a gradient style.
I am crazy in love with this shawl.
Yeah,
this
one's
is
a
my
beauty.
shape.
You want to toss it on?
Yeah.
You're so good at that. And it is a nice length. And it's not too heavy, which I really, really like.
But look at just
Jodi,
the
that looks
pops of
awesome.
color.
Yeah.
Okay,
Love
next.
it. Okay, so I have one more, and this is by Melanie Burke. And
We're a big fan.
we're big fans.
Yeah.
This one's called Joker and the Thief.
This pattern has been around for quite a while now.
It has, yeah.
And I love everybody's, quirky tweaks that they make on their own. And
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the idea of these cloudboard minis in this shawl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, you're going to want a main color and then a pack of the minis.
Yeah.
And you can just go to town and stripe this up any way you like. It's very popular pattern on Ravelry. I think you can go there and check out tons of projects.
You know what I love about this one?
What?
Is the pop of color.
Yeah, that's
that they've
really
thrown in there.
That's really fun. So
Yeah.
the rest is
So
much more harmonious.
this one is a gradient set. This is a gradient gray set.
with the magenta and the gold.
So the magenta would be your 100-gram skein.
Yes.
And then they've popped in for a fun pop of color, that
I love
gold
it.
color.
I love it. Did you have another one?
Stop the presses.
Okay.
Okay. This is the Melini, and I saved this one for last because it's my favorite. Not only is it my favorite in, the stitches, but it's my favorite color.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay,
This is a bit of a showstopper.
That is gorgeous. Look at all those fun stripes. And in here, I see more slip
I'm at a
stitch-
loss for words.
More, I can't even. That's what we usually say.
I can't even.
It's got a lot of slip stitches too. Yeah, this is really, really beautiful.
There's so much happening in this shawl.
I think this is stunning, and it's all about the colors. I think you're right. I love grays. I love blues. This is a real stunner.
Like for me, this is like the perfect storm. But these are my colors.
And I need to knit it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get some knitspiration going on. Okay, we are on YouTube. That's where you
Yeah.
guys found us. I have another YouTube channel that I think you would love to check out.
Yeah.
It is called U University, and it's Dr. Christine Kelly, who's actually a university professor in real life. So
Yeah.
she's really got this amazing wealth of knowledge about all things fiber and knitting, and I've learned crafting. She does like studies. She did this thing about what's the softest fiber in the world, and I learned about all these really weird animals I'd never heard about before, but I want to knit with every single one of their fibers.
She had research knitting needles.
Yes.
So she talked about the finish. She talked about the different tips you can get. She talked about the different cords you can get.
And the join, and it
Yeah.
was actually a study. She had her
Yes.
students at the university say which ones they thought were,
Yeah.
the sharpest, the pointiest. Anyway, I could go on and on. I love it. This
Yeah.
is something I watch every week on YouTube. It's U University.
A little thing about me is I love wearing hats.
True.
And so I feel like if someone's looking for inspiration for something, for knitting a fall hat,
Yes.
go to Woolly Wormhead.
The best.
So Woolly Wormhead is this a most amazing designer, and it's almost like she's an architect of hats.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like when you knit her patterns, you're building the hat. It's not just the knitting of it. Sometimes the construction is completely
Yeah.
sideways to where you think this is not going to make itself into a hat, but it
Yeah.
does. She actually calls them sculptures, some of her patterns.
Well, you know what I love about it? It's unusual construction, not hard. The coolest stitch patterns.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a work of art for your head.
they're very unique.
And you know what the great thing about it is there is a ton of tutorials on her website.
It's a beautiful website with tons of gorgeous patterns, and they're just photographed so beautifully.
I defy you not to find a hat pattern you want to knit.
I like taking my knitting on holidays, and I came across craft cruises.
A friend of ours has taken several.
What? You can go on a cruise that's a knitting retreat,
Who
and it
knew?
takes you all over the world. Australia, China, Europe, all these crazy places.
Yeah.
There's one coming up this fall that's actually Canada and New England.
Okay,
So you
how
can go to their
fun.
website and check out all. They've got them planned for a couple of years. So
Yeah.
you can basically pick anywhere in the globe, and you're on a big cruise ship, and it's got your knitting retreat is just part of that.
So it's not the
cruise.
whole entire cruise.
No,
Right.
No, and there's all kinds of other crafts you can do too, but I was only interested
Shuffleboard?
in the knitting ones. Well, I believe there's even quilting and crochet and
I know.
things like that. But I feel like this next one that's coming up in the 2018.
I'm gonna do it.
You should do it. It's 113 days on a knitting cruise. It's a world tour on a boat with your knitting.
Okay, Make, Wear, Love Retreat.
Oh.
With Amy Herzog.
She is so amazing with her whole knit to flatter philosophy and knit to fit, you know, all her patterns to fit your specific body shape. And now she has retreats.
She does have retreats.
Yeah.
And so she'll pick like top-notch designers, right? She'll have classes that you can sign up for, but there's a really good balance between the formal classes and then just the relaxed roundtable discussions in the evenings with your friends, all about knitting.
And isn't that what we really want to do? We just want to go hang out with other knitters and take a class, and they're always in beautiful locations.
Okay, that's what it really struck me, because when I don't get away from my family very often, so when I go, it's got to be
I don't escape all that often.
But she picks the most amazing location.
I think in autumn, her next one is in Maine.
I know.
This fall.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, well, no,
knitting
but
in Maine in the fall.
I'd love to go.
Yeah.
So one of these days. There's actually a really special birthday happening this fall. Signature Needle Arts. So those really beautiful, gorgeous. Treat yourself knitting needles. They turn 10 this year. So they're having an incredible retreat with our favorite people. And you can go take classes with Susan B. Anderson, Romy Hill, Ann Budd, Kate Atherley.
Talk about top-notch designers.
Yeah, and it's going to be just a massive event. And so that, to me, would give me tons of knitting inspiration. Hanging out with other knitters always inspires me. That was it for Dreaming of Fall, you guys. Didn't we have so much fun talking about all of those things today?
Nailed it.
From our favorite things. My dog's getting a new sweater.
Totally. We had a sweater KAL check-in.
We did.
We've joined now our sleeves to the body.
Yes. And we had a beautiful parade of knitspiration for you guys.
We did.
Which we really hope gets you knitting and getting excited for fall.
Don't forget, everything we talked about today can be found in the description box below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
We would love it. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love a thumbs up and a comment, because it's always so great to hear from you.
Yeah.
And until next time, you guys, happy knitting.